Alright, HadesOmega here. I'm gonna go ride the Ducati Scrambler 1100. My second Ducati ride today. I wanted to ride the Cafe over there, but everyone wants to ride it, so I'm gonna ride the big boy bike, the 1100. Yeah, let's do it. Alright. So the gauge cluster is a little bit different than the other one. I rode the desert sled earlier. Okay, now we are armed and dangerous. Yeah. Oh man, that sounds muscular. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so you got a little up and down switch here on the left, and that cycles through your trip and your odometer, and this one has a range and a thermometer and some kind of setting. Oh, there's different settings. There's active, journey, and city. Let's just put it on active. DTC, I think that's traction control. High. You can turn that low or something. Alright, I'm done farkling with it. Okay, so we're on something called active, so that's probably like a dynamic mode. I'm not going to mess around with the ride modes too much. Here we go. So this is Ducati Scrambler 1100. This is the big boy bike. So I've ridden similar bikes that I've ridden are the Bonneville T120, the Bonneville T120, and the Z900 RS would be very similar to this. The Z900 is a little bit smaller. T120 is a little bigger. So this is kind of like in between everything. So should be fun. I rode the Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled. That's the really dirty one. That's the really dirty one. Man, the throttle is really smooth, especially in like active mode. The gauge cluster is different than the Desert Sled. It's not like just the whole round clock looking thing. It's there's a big speedometer. There's a gauge cluster, like an extra one, like it's kind of like rectangular sorta, or like pill shaped, and that's dedicated to the speed and the gear indicator. And I think it has like automatic headlights or something. And it's got a lot of torque. I'm not even shifting. It's just going. I'm guessing the gearing is very wide on this. So let's just put it on trip. Alright, going for a little ride. See how standing on it is? Yeah, standing's not bad. Just gonna roll through the stop sign here. Oh man, I like the exhaust on this. Oh yeah, the power. Power overwhelming. Man, you just open the throttle a little bit and it goes. I feel I like the throttle on this better. It's definitely not as jerky as the Desert Sled that I rode earlier. There was no way to soften up the throttle. Right now I'm on active mode. I don't know what that means. I will put a subtitle below. That means later. I'm not really going to play around with the different settings too much. If I don't, there is something called DTC. I think that is Ducati Traction Control is what that stands for. It's on 2 right now. If I feel like it's saying, hey bad boy, don't do that, I'm gonna turn it off. I hate it. Well, I hate it if it intervenes too much. Like, it's nice to have electronics on the bike to save you, like traction control, but you know, if it's like keeping you from having fun, they whatchamacallit, around that corner, effortlessly goes down the hill. It feels like a cruiser. I don't like the Desert Sled. The Desert Sled kind of felt like a cruiser too. The bars don't seem as wide, but it's still a tall bar. I notice I don't have to shift as much as the Desert Sled too, because this is 1100. It's got a lot of torque. The gearing is very wide, you know. I like this engine, man. just zips along just fine. It's pretty good at riding slow. Yeah, the neutral, it doesn't say neutral, it's like just a line, like a dash, I noticed. So the gauge cluster is a lot like the other Ducati Scrambler desert sled I rode. It has a clock on top. It has a like a mode. Woo! Woo! Man, does it go! All right, so it has like a mode button. It has a mode kind of like menu underneath the clock. It is 4 o'clock right now. And then under that it's just a, information menu. I'm on trip right now, and then under that is a little gas gauge with little bars. And then under that, it almost from maybe like the 230 position to the 830 position is your tachometer, and it goes 0 to 10,000. So let this bad boy to 10,000. It's got so much torque, man. It just gets up and goes, man. It has torque comparable to yeah, I feel like it's kind of in between the 900 and the 1100 I rode, the T120 and the Z900 RS. It's like it's got like torque and more horsepower than the Z900. It's got more torque than the Z900, that's for sure. That Z900 really had some get up and go though. Muscular, dude. I like it. Alright, so we're just kind of cruising here right now. Mirrors look pretty good. They actually do work pretty good. They're big and they're really clear. Doing about 4,000 RPM. I feel like we can probably shift up the gear about 50 miles an hour. Let's roll on. Oh boy, it's still go. Let's go to 5th gear. It still goes. It'll pretty much pull you in any gear, man. It's pretty zippy, man. I feel like 4th gear is probably where you'd want it. It is pretty zippy, man. I'll tell you that. I like it. It's a little vibrate-y, I can feel the seat vibrating a little bit, I can feel the tank vibrating. I feel like it gives it a little bit of character. It does remind me a lot of the Bonneville. I like it. It is a naked bike, so we're feeling all the wind hit me, which feels great right now. It's nice and warm at Laguna Seca today. Yeah, so oh, I didn't even mention where I am. So here I'm near Monterey, California, near Laguna Seca. Well, we were at Laguna Seca Raceway, and we're just riding around it. I'm here at the World Superbike Championship 2018. So that's where we're riding this right now. And this should be a fun ride. Holy moly. The throttle is very nice. I like this throttle, man. It's smooth. It's in active mode. Oh, whoa. Alright. Why did we suddenly just stop? It's got good brakes. Yeah, so maybe we can play with the little modes. So there is a setting mode, and if you press the enter button there, you can change stuff. We can go to journey. Okay, now we're in journey mode, and okay, stop playing with it. Okay, then it kind of goes away when you're it kind of goes away when you start riding. So I would only play with that while you're not riding. I guess if you're kind of cruising, then it's okay. So, oh, we're back in active mode. Okay, well, I don't know what I did. There was 3 modes. There was active, journey, and city. So I'm not really sure what the differences are. I'm Okay, now we're in journey mode. That was, oh no, it's gone back to active. Okay, I don't know how to adjust it. Sorry guys. I'm trying to play around with the settings. I don't really know. But there is two settings: active, journey, and city. I feel like I like the throttle, man. It's not very sensitive. You can ride this thing in the city, no problem. Probably do a little gymkhana with it. Good times. So hopefully we start getting the twisty part. So I'll tell you right now, well, when we get to a stop, I'll tell you how tall it is. It's not very tall. I'm pretty sure I can heel foot it. I'm 5'10", 175 pounds. It's not too big a bike. It's got a lot of power too. It's kind of vibey. I'm not gonna lie. It's not. It ain't butter smooth like an inline 4. I think this is a V4, I think, or V-twin. Sorry. I will put what type of engine this is on the description below. Well, I don't feel like I've hit any kind of traction control. Yeah, I don't feel like I've hit any kind of traction control. It's a pretty nice ride. It's not too bumpy. We haven't ridden on anything super bumpy yet, but I remember the Desert Sled's suspension was pretty stiff. But it kind of has to be if you're going to be hammering it off-road, you know. Alright, so we're just going to ride it, man. We're going to ride it, and I'll tell you what I think and give you my honest opinion. It's a beautiful ride out here, though, I'll tell you that. The last ride, I had a lot of fun. We didn't go too fast, so we didn't go too slow, you know. This one's a little bit slow. Easily takes them corners. It'll pull in second gear here. Oh yeah, I will. Yeah, I will. Let's go third gear from 30 miles an hour. Gonna roll on. Oh yeah, man. Once it goes past 2,000 RPM, it just picks up, man. Woo! It's got like torque. It's got torque for days. Definitely tell the riders in front of me are very orthodox riders. They do everything by the book. They look, they lean, they look, they push, they lean. Make the right turn here. Very comfortable bike to ride. Even though it feels kind of vibey, it's not too bad. I wish we could take it on the freeway so we can see what it's like on the freeway. But we did hit like 50 miles an hour. And it was okay. It's a little vibey, but it doesn't get crazy, you know? Come on, open it up! Open it up! Let's go! Ah, no joy. Oh well. We designed for a little cruise, which is quite enjoyable on this bike, I'll tell you that, man. It's very comfortable to drive. I feel that the seat, I didn't really comment on the last seat, but I feel the seat is like not super comfortable. I think maybe after like an hour or two, my ass would be hurting. But it is very comfortable. Like, the suspension soaks up the bump so fine. I don't even have to stand or anything, man. It just soaks it up just fine. Yeah, the suspension is much softer on this compared to the desert sleds. Cruise in like 5th gear, I bet. We can just cruise up this hill in 5th gear. No problem. No problem. Beautiful. Well, I say torque for days, man. I could climb this in any gear. Is there a 6th gear? Oh, there is a 6th gear. Okay, 6th gear is like your overdrive gear. It doesn't really have a whole lot of power. It's just to keep the engine's revs down, you know, to conserve gas. Yeah, it is comfortable to stand too. It's comfortable to stand on your tippy toes also. I can see why they call it a Scrambler, man. You don't even have to stand straight up. You don't even have to stand straight up. You just kind of just get your seat off the, get your ass off the seat. Alright, HadesOmega here. So I'm gonna do, my battery ran out while I was riding the Scrambler 1100. So I'm gonna do my little after review right here. So I really like that bike. That bike was nice. It had a lot of torque, dude. It had pretty much power in every gear, and it vibrated a lot. That was one of the, I guess it's just a characteristic of the bike. It vibrated a lot, but you know, it wasn't like an annoying vibration, but yeah, pretty much it vibrated all the time. All the time. What else? I can, so I'm 5'10", 175 pounds, and I was able to flat foot it. It's not that tall bike, you know. It's a little bit heavy, it's a little bit wide, but I felt like it was like riding, it's like riding a cruiser that you can take off-road. It was really nice, and it just had like torque, lots of torque, and it handled well. It actually, I actually felt that the ride quality was better than the desert sled. The desert sled suspension was just too stiff. I don't know if you could adjust it to be softer or anything. You probably could, but that 1100, it rode really good over the bumps. I felt like really no need to stand up at all, but you could stand up if you wanted to. So that was one thing I liked about it. Oh yeah, so sunset at Laguna Seca is. Okay, anyway. Sorry about that. So yeah, I had a lot of fun riding it. Oh, you know what? I didn't ask about all those different modes and stuff. Yeah, it had like an active, journey, and city mode. I didn't know how to. I'll put a subtitle below what they do. I'll look it up online. I didn't know. It didn't even have like any miles. Maybe it did have some miles per gallon statistics. I don't remember if I went over it. Yeah, so but it was a really good bike. I don't really know how much the price was. I'll put the MSRP down below right now. And I felt that the seat was pretty comfortable and soft, but I think you would get like monkey butt on it like after like an hour, so it's not the most comfortable seat. I think it had some kind of traction control. It had something called DTC, Ducati Traction Control is what I think that stands for. And it was set on 2. I never set it off. I don't think I rode it hard enough, but yeah, I guess if you ride it hard enough, if you rode it off road, maybe you can get it to engage. Yeah, because I rode a Aprilia Tuono,
one time, and the traction control was turned all the way up, and like it's just bad boy, don't do that. Like, so I didn't get any of that from it. The gauge cluster is a little different. I don't know. It was a little bit easier to read. They had this miles per hour on a separate gauge. So yeah, I really liked it. I hope I got a good amount of video of me riding it. There was some fun. There was like that last turn before you go back into the HadesOmega. That's a fun one. I don't think the bars did not feel as wide. Yeah, so those were my impressions on it. I did think it was pretty vibey. I guess that's just the way it is, But like I did realize, I noticed that it vibrates all the time, like no matter like at idle, while you're moving, while you're going fast. Hopefully, like if you're going like on the freeway at like 70 miles an hour, it's not like so much vibration. You're going numb, That's the kind of vibration I feel, like kind of like riding this thing, man. the KLR at like 70 miles an hour almost feels like you're gonna re-enter the atmosphere type of thing, So yeah, so that's my little after vlog video on the Ducati Scrambler 1100. I really liked it. That was my second time riding a Ducati. Tomorrow I'm going to try to go for a third. I'm going to try to ride the Cafe. Oh yeah, okay, I can compare it to different bikes too. I've ridden the Bonneville T120, and I've ridden the Kawasaki Z900 RS, and those are the other bikes that you would be competing with. The Z900 is smaller, and the T120 is bigger, so it kind of falls in between them. It's like I mentioned earlier. Yeah, if I had to pick a bike, I think I would still pick the Z900. The Z900 is just super smooth. I like that inline 4, but like if you like something vibey and burbly and all that, kind of like and it has a real muscular sound to it. That Ducati, man, it's a hoot to ride. I like that T120. I think that's a great bike. It's really low to the ground. I want something higher. But I would like to ride the Triumph Scrambler. That's the only Triumph bike that I haven't ridden yet, and I want to get a shot at that, because I rode the Ducati Scrambler now. I like the Ducati Scrambler, and I like that you can ride it off road if you want to. It's a bit of a pig, but hey, that's what they designed it for. So yeah, it's a pretty simple bike. Just pretty much hop on it and ride. Don't have to worry about much. Yeah, I genuinely liked it. Alright, here's me out.